Hi again and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would talk about how to organise a site visit, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I recently collected some footage of a site visit that I attended that I thought was really well managed and that I thought people could learn from. The first thing about organising a site visit is that you want to make sure that you've got the right people involved. And when we're looking at big projects, this can include anyone from the engineers, the other designers. You might want electrical engineers to be able to check the power supply. You might want environmental engineers because there might be contaminated land issues, flora and fauna, and other ecological aspects to be aware of. You might want traffic engineers because they will need to assess the movement of large vehicles to and from that site, both during construction and during normal operation. You might want people from property teams, particularly if they need to negotiate land access during construction, or if assets are going to be put on other people's properties, and so there might need to be purchases made. And there's also external stakeholders that might need to be involved, so people from different government or environmental regulatory bodies. Another group might be internal decision makers who need to stay involved, because often the best way to keep people informed about your project is to actually take them and show them the site in person. The second key to organising a site visit is to have materials for people to refer to while you're looking at the site. So that includes drawings of any layouts that you think are relevant. You might want to have maps of the flood levels in the area so that you can make sure that you plan to stay above those. If you've got plans of buried services, if you've got plans of nearby developments, or even just aerial shots where people can see nearest neighbours, so they can start looking at issues like noise or safety exclusion zones for various chemical storages. For large buildings, you might want to start looking at the shadow that they cast over other buildings. So as much information as you can. Oh, another one is sewer connections, because most buildings will need a sewer connection. So understanding where those go, whether the lines are gravity lines or pressurized, these are all details that the more information you have when you go onto site, the better. Before you arrive on the site, make sure you understand all of the safety requirements, including any work that you need to do beforehand in terms of submitting applications, filling in paperwork. Make sure that all of the people that are attending have got the appropriate safety gear with them. And then make sure that you understand what the sign-in requirements are, whether you need to be accompanied, whether you need to do additional inductions before you start walking around the site, and then also make it really clear to the people attending the visit what your expectations are on their behaviour while they're on site. Do they need to stay with you at all times, or are they free to wander around and look at what they need to? And this all comes down to the risks on the existing site. If it's a greenfield site, then there's really not that much risk other than, typical snakes and spiders and ticks and, all of the natural risks, slips, trips and falls. If you're on an operating site or a construction site, the risks are more numerous, and you might even have a head contractor there who's controlling the site, and that brings with it another level of safety documentation. So just make sure you understand all of that before you go, and that the people you're meeting know when you're going to be there so that they can make plans to shepherd all of your attendees through all of these processes. Those are my first 3 tips on how to host a successful site visit. I'll probably do a second video when I think of more tips. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. Please subscribe. Let me know if there's anything that you want to know about specifically, and I'll try and make videos about that. My intention is to help provide information or answer questions that people might not be getting answered in their day-to-day life, or if you're considering a career in engineering or project management, I guess just to give a perspective from someone who's in the industry. So yes, keep working hard. I hope to hear from you and enjoy your career.